Smokin Jokin show. My name is Beth King, your Crown Eater's wife, and I'm here with my amazing husband, Jimmy King, my partner in crime.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching the show. I'll say it again because I doubt there's anybody that's really truly jumped in yet. But anybody that is here, if you can highlight in the comments, it'd be greatly appreciated. We got the amazing Duff Dufford with us again tonight um, with FSB Initiative Ohio Team. We're going to be talking about their event coming up and all amazing things that they're doing, what the event is for, and everything as far as that goes. Duff, thank you for joining us again. It's always fun
Anytime.
having you come on. How you been?
Anytime. I'm living, man. It's nonstop work over here between work, the Legion, and the FSB. I think I might get 2 seconds to myself for sleep.
That's a good thing. That you're busy, not that you don't sleep. So, just to kind of remind everybody, let's just kind of talk about FSB, what you guys actually do, and share like kind of how you got involved with them and what makes you so passionate about them.
So, for all of the crayon eaters that are watching, the FSB initiative stands for Forward Support Base. Um, when the Army sends out the scouts and the forward team to establish an FOB, the first thing that is established is a forward support base to make a way for everything to come behind it. Chaz Craynock, our founder, and his co-founders back in 2017 decided to start a program to actually help veterans, not just, you know, check boxes and make people rich. And we go out on the streets, in the abandoned buildings, through the woods, over the river, and the hills, looking for unsheltered homeless veterans. When we come in contact with them at first, is normally just getting to know each other and building a little bit of trust and rapport. We give them a hygiene bag that has, standard hygiene items like shampoo, body wash, lotion, some first aid items, some non-perishable snacks. Our hygiene bags in Ohio come with a hand towel, two washcloths, hair ties, combs, brushes, a can opener, a pack of playing cards. So if they're bored, they can at least play solitaire, and a couple of our cards. We become a point of contact, and when these veterans are ready, not before, we don't force anything. When they're ready to and they want to make a change, we help them do it. I like to tell every veteran that I meet that, hey, brother, sister, I know we're in a dark place right now, but I've got a lantern and I've got a map. So why don't you take the map? I'll hold the lantern and we're going to walk the hell out of here. And we get them, the whole way through anything they need to become eligible for the housing programs that we utilize, whether it's substance abuse treatment, mental health treatment to where, they don't need to be, you know, actively seen by medical professionals. And then we get them into their own private housing through the use of interim housing and different programs. A lot of the times we just kind of become grease on the VA wheels because we've learned the ins and outs and the key words and how to not get yourself disqualified. And then we stick with them. We check on them. We keep up with them. And a lot of them come back and end up helping us. So the Ohio team has been started to be established in 2022. And we started in late 2023 because I wanted to do it right. I wasn't half-assing anything. And we did November 2017, 2023, we did our first outreach with the national team and the Allegheny Valley Veteran Center's board. The Allegheny Valley Veteran Center is one of the interim housing places we use. They're privately funded, so they can help with a lot of hard cases that the VA just can't catch. And we've been going out once a month ever since. The Ohio team, since its inception and start, has been able to assist over 132 veterans. We've been able to place 23 into housing, and we've successfully had 18 of them in housing and sustaining it.
Well, the amazing thing I think is about y'all is you're just not finding interim housing for them if they need rehabilitation, whether it's drugs or alcohol, if they need a job and help to sustain that, as you like to say, hand up, then hand out. So
Yes,
that,
we are a
oh, go ahead.
hand up, not a handout. We tell everyone we've only done 10% of the work.
Right.
It is the hardest 10%, but they have to do the other 90. They have to walk the path. They have to want it. They have to make the changes. They have to be present in their own success. We can't succeed for them. The other thing that I really like and what drew me to saying yes when Chaz asked me and Miss Terry, aka Mama Terry, aka Mama Duff, the birther of legends,
Duff.
if we wanted to try to start a team in Ohio, was since its inception in 2017 and since its incorporation as a 501c3 in 2019, nobody has ever been paid for their efforts with the FSB, and nobody ever will be paid. It's actually our number 2 bylaw, and there's a couple other bylaws throughout our 5-page document that make sure that it can never be changed. And nobody, this is a labor of love for probably what arguably anybody in viewing this podcast will agree is the most deserving demographic of people in need.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into being homeless. There's no one path. There's no one cause. There are commonalities, but a lot of it stems from pride. We don't want to admit there's a problem. We don't want to accept help. We'd rather do it ourselves. We don't want to be deemed a failure. And it's a hurt piece. And sometimes it's hard. Just our last outreach in June, I had my first aggressive veteran, and I had to just very, very politely tell him, I said, listen, I'm offering you assistance. I'm not forcing you to do anything or judging you in any way. If you want to live this way, feel free. Here's a bag. I don't want your shit. Well, okay, then don't take it. Here's a card. When you're ready, call me. And I had to walk away from him, and that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
But the one thing that is also nice is we are smaller and we aren't corporately funded or, beholden to quotas for different grants and everything else. We don't have oversight saying that we have to do this much. So when somebody doesn't want to do the work and when somebody just wants to basically look for a handout, I'm not obligated to help them.
Yeah. Being a part of, charity organizations, for the last 20 years, I think one of the hardest things is when I've had to turn someone away who really needed, help and would have taken it as a hand up. And you have somebody who is just looking for you to do the work. I've, even been expected to want to fill out applications for people. And I'm like, that's not my job. But it's hard. And I'm wondering, we've talked about before when somebody doesn't want help, like the veteran you just, encountered, there's some that this is a lifestyle they prefer and they want to live. But I also think a big component is when you've been turned and rejected and turned away time and time again, why do the work just to be slammed back down to that place? And I think that's where a lot of their mindset gets. Not that that's the case in every case, but
no, I think it's the majority of those cases. The hard cases like that are because of the constant rejection. And, we signed up to do a thing and we were told we were going to be taken care of. And a lot of the times we're not. Me personally, I mean, I've never been shy with anybody in the Cran Eaters. I've never been shy with anybody in the FSB. I served for a little over a year, and most of my service was fighting a med board, trying to stay in while helping 3 other cadets beat their med board. My service was stolen from me. And it's not because my body couldn't do it. It was because they didn't want to reclass me because there was too
Right.
many people signing up. And, you know, it's not just the system that puts us down. You know, there's big creators out there, content creators out there. There's a lot of organizations out there that say, you know, if you only served a year, you're not a vet. Or if you didn't deploy, if you're not at combat, you're not a vet. And I personally don't see it. I see it as, you know, we signed up, we did everything we could. Now, there are those people who stubbed their toe in basic training, somehow managed a med board out of it and got granted 100%. And you know what? You know what? I have to look at it as good for them. You know what I mean? Because I fought the system for 21 years and I don't got near that much.
Yeah. I don't know anybody like that. I've never met anyone like that in my life.
Oh, I have.
I'm being very sarcastic.
Yeah.
That's what
We'll learn
Tim
names
said.
out there, but we
But
don't
yeah.
know anybody like that.
Nah.
But the fact of the matter is, you know, they still did sign the dotted line. And if they went, especially in my opinion, if they went through a full PEB and a med board proceedings and were medically retired, then whether we like it or not, they're a veteran.
I can agree with the whether we like it or not part as far as that goes. Like I said, I won't get into it as far as that. There are those out there, unfortunately, like you said, that got injured in basic or boot camp or whatever term you want to call it, and got med boarded out without anybody finding out that they were the cause of their own injury.
Yes.
That's where our laughter is coming in.
That.
That's where our laughter is coming in as far as that goes. But anyway, real quick, take a quick pause. Once again, thank you everybody for joining the show. Just looking at some of the comments here. Teddy Bomber said, "Nice shirt, Jimmy King." I just met up with Teddy today after
He was late.
23-ish, 24 years since we've seen each other, because he got out when we got back from our second deployment from my first unit from our second Westpac. And Teddy's a bit of a hoarder. He had all of our old platoon shirts. He still has them, but they were getting a little worn out. So he went out and had them recreated. And Beth and I are both sporting 2-1 second countermech or anti-armor, whichever term name they wanted to give to us at the time. We're wearing the shirts now because he brought me a couple of them as far as it goes. So thank you, Teddy. Greatly appreciated. Let's see. We got Lance McElhaney in the house. Thank you for joining us, Lance. He said, where'd he go? We're playing with King. Oh, you had asked what about my shirt to Teddy, and Lance said, take it off and show it to the camera to get a better look. Yeah, I think that Jimmy is just faking the whole leg thing. Yeah, I found a way to green screen my leg, even in real life.
It's amazing.
But that's even a thing that, you know, some people look at. You have to have like physical injuries to be, you know, in certain circles of the, you know, creator world and so forth. So like you were saying, I mean, there is a lot of levels to it.
There's absolutely levels to it, and I'll never claim to be a combat vet. That is a different level, and that is a different hurt that I never got to understand. But what a lot of the people that are claiming people who haven't been in combat or, you know, fulfilled a contract aren't veterans is there are people personally like me. I was going to be a soldier my whole life. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to do anything but be in the Army. That was my life's plan. I was going to do 25 years, retire with a double pension, and, you know, it got taken from me, and my whole life has been changed since,
Yeah.
from the military, because I was a tall guy, and basically, like, y'all look at me, I'm a big boy. We all know that Duff is tons of fun. But when I signed into basic training, I was 6'4", 168 pounds.
Oh my
And I was
goodness.
paired with the 6'8" guy that was 350, and had to carry him through basic training. And then I had to carry him through AIT. And the things that we were made to do that he wasn't able to do, that I had to carry him through, destroyed my body. And then I fought for a year to stay in and change jobs. And I fought for my service and lost it. So am I a veteran? I feel that I am. If you don't feel that I am, I'm sorry, but I'm still going to use my veteran title, and I am still going to help veterans every way that I can. And we can agree to disagree, and I'm still going to love you because you signed the same check that I signed, payable to my life. We just paid in different ways.
Yeah. And you
Yes,
do great service with the veterans now.
Yeah, I would say that there's is a distinguishing aspect of saying I'm a veteran or I'm a combat veteran, as far as that goes. But I mean, whether it's 4 years or 6 days or whatever,
According to the VA,
there are plenty of veterans out there who served, say, in between the first Gulf War and Operation Iraqi Freedom, in that time frame, that never seen combat. That doesn't make them not a veteran. There are plenty who served even during wartime, but were never stationed in a unit that was sent to combat. Doesn't make them not a veteran. And in your situation, the only ones that I would say that have gotten out, med boarded, whatever, as far as it goes, and I hate the fact that I have to go back to it, are those who put themselves out, as far as it goes, injured themselves on purpose to get out, or refused to train and somehow worked the system and still got some sort of veteran status. But whether it be you got hurt in boot camp, you got hurt in SOI or whatever your MOS schooling was, you got hurt in a training accident after you got to the fleet, you got a waiver that allowed you to come in, and then got to the fleet and they said, well, wait a minute, this waiver shouldn't have been approved, and they med boarded you out. If you went to boot camp, you raised your right hand, you swore that oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and you had every full intention of completing that oath and standing up for that oath, and did everything you could to stay in, and they still said, hey, sorry, we appreciate that you want to stay in, you've got to go, you're a veteran. You had the intent, you had the heart, you had the desire to serve your country and do your duty. So if there was a situation that was not in your control that caused you to get out in one way, shape, or form, then I don't care what anybody says, you're a veteran.
And like I said, I really don't care either. My contention in it comes in the fact that I see these homeless veterans that are 20, 30-year reservists or National Guard veterans that were activated but never deployed to a combat zone, or they were only activated for 6 months and didn't hit the 180 days of full service for the VA and the DOD to give them, they get veteran status,
Right.
but they don't get any benefits.
No ratings.
They don't get any help. And they served their whole lives. I know soldiers that were in the Army that served 15 years and never deployed. I don't like to argue about it. I like to hear everybody out. The VA standard and the DOD have agreed that a veteran is anybody who has served over 180 days active duty after training, or was med boarded. I completed my training. I was granted my MOS. They didn't allow me to sign into my permanent duty station because they had started a med board. And then I fought my med board. It is what it is.
Yeah.
People can not like me for it, but you know what? Like what I'm doing. Like the fact that I
Exactly.
still found a way to serve.
That
You don't
part.
have to like me, and I don't have to like you, but we are all in a brotherhood and a sisterhood. I have to say that these days for PR, but we're all in that.
Plug in, Chaz. Plug in.
We're all in that. 1%.
Yeah, no, and that's the part that's most important is, you're serving. Look what you're doing now. Look what you're doing for those veterans that, the brotherhood and sisterhood that truly did want to belong to in every way. As far as serving with, that you did belong to, but okay. Let's stick my foot in my mouth.
Moving on.
So we've got an event coming up.
Yeah, tell us about your event. It's 17 days out, 16
Yeah,
days.
17 days from now on Sunday, July 20th, the FSB Ohio team is hosting their inaugural charity ride. Eventually, this will turn into your standard charity ride, dice run, poker run, but it's our first one, so I wanted to keep it small. We're just going to ride out together, one group, one stop. I have a prize wheel at the stop for the participants. Riders and passengers can spin it. I'm going to give out prizes until they're gone.
Nice.
You don't have to spin if you don't want to. There's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I've got a DJ for the entire day. We're going to be live on TikTok for the entire day. And we've got a lot of awesome items to try to, raise funds. This is going to be our annual fundraiser. And the only time we really ask people for, financial donations, like we always accept them, but we don't like to ask. What we like to ask for is the tangible goods, the gear we need. So, the only time we're asking for money is our annual fundraiser. But we found a way that we are comfortable with in ourselves and in our own moral compass on how it should be done. And we have an amazing family, FSB family of supporters across all of our social medias. We go live on TikTok every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1900 hours to 2000 hours Eastern Standard. And we've met a lot of amazing creators, a lot of very, very talented craftsmen and women, and they've all donated great items to be auctioned off, whether it's a Chinese auction, a live auction, or a raffle. And, it's your chance to get it. And if you come into the TikTok live stream, which is FSB Initiative Ohio Team on TikTok, you can bid on it. We will have people watching it and clocking the bids. And if you have the highest bid, if you happen to win on the live auction, then you'll have 5 minutes to send the cash to Cash App, or it'll go to the second highest bidder. And then we'll mail it to you.
Do you need somebody to present it? And
I am putting your ass in an American flag bikini.
Yeah, by the way, everybody, we're going to be going down to Ohio to visit some family and then make the trip to actually be there for the poker run and all the festivities. I had no idea myself that it was an all-day thing, but I am prepared. So instead of staying or leaving right after, we will be staying the night and leaving the next day.
Well, how else are we supposed to complete this throuple?
Right. Well, we were coming in the night before. I mean,
But some of the things, and as we all know, a lot of us veterans are bikers or motorcycle enthusiasts. Jimmy, Crane Eater's wife's very, very close with CVMA. I'm very, very close with a lot of people in my local chapters. But we all know that as bikers and at a bar, whether it's a Legion or any other establishment that serves alcohol, everybody always wants to take a shot at the big guy, right?
Right. Is
So
that
I
what we're
found a way
doing?
to capitalize on this. One of the major live auction things we have is a handmade, inch-thick, solid oak paddle. It is engraved with the FSB Ohio team logo. And then on the back, because I was a medic, I had to put the silver bullet on it.
I'll have to get some lipstick and put a lipstick print on it.
So for the last 2 years at the Nationals, I have auctioned off a chance to take me out. We auction off 2 full swings as hard as you want to see if you can make me move. And
so we get to pay to get you to bend over, is what you're saying.
yes, you get an opportunity to pay to paddle my ass as hard as you can.
Are you
And
gonna be dressed
then
up in any outfit?
the winner not only gets to make the swings, but I also sign and date the paddle, and you get to keep the paddle.
Awesome. I love that. I love that.
I had to check my time, make sure I wasn't going to break our 12-minute rule. Yeah, that thing's thick as shit. And yes, I know there's that's what she said joke in there somewhere, but good Lord.
Well, the funny part is this one is for the charity ride. But
Right.
I had Aaron from Devil Dog Customs make me its twin.
Nice.
The only difference is the team paddle that I will always have. I had to move the silver bullet because it's just the tip, right?
That's good.
Love
That's
it.
good. So what are some of the other items? I mean, your butt
So some of the other
wine.
items, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be doing some shameless plugging for my supporters here.
Plug away.
Jerome Allen, I do believe he is a member of Cran Eaters on the Book of Faces. He is Backyard Bayou Blades Blacksmithing.
Okay, yeah, I do know who that is.
He has hand forged a black anodized steel pokey. I don't know if I can say knife on here. I don't want to get you guys in trouble. But this thing is heavy, well balanced, and
Yeah.
you can shave with it.
It's real sharp.
So this was donated by Jerome to help support the FSB. And then Aaron from Devil Dog Customs made me a brisket board to commemorate the charity ride.
Look at that.
I like that. That's gonna be
So
my.
it has
my
the logo for the event and the team logo on the cutting side, so you don't ever have to worry about not seeing it. It is 15.4 pounds of solid oak.
Nice.
These two are going to be paired together for an auction.
Sweet.
That is nice.
We also have other things like one of our local motorcycle dealerships, Johnny K Power Sports, donated a basket that has Can-Am swag and a $700 set of Bluetooth speakers for the Can-Am Riker. Now, those of us who have motorcycles, including you, Jimmy, know that we all have to customize them, so we can find a way to make it work on anything.
So just take a quick pause for just a second there. I should probably ask this off air, but I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. When it comes to the brisket board and the pokey object, are you taking bribes?
No.
No.
No, absolutely not. The starting bid on that pair is going to be $200.
Nice.
The knife itself normally retails for $200, and the brisket board without any of the laser burning on it, without any of the, the cause and, the memorialization of the event, sells for $99.
Yeah. Easy.
So
that's easy. That's actually cheap. It probably goes for more than that.
Well, that's what the board sells for at Walmart or the kitchen store.
Oh, okay.
It sells for $99.99.
Nice.
It's 15.4 pounds. It's a beautiful board. But that's one of the live auction items. As I said, we're going to have a Chinese auction, a live auction. I might have some things that are silent. I'm still figuring it out. 3 weeks out, 2.5 weeks out.
Look, I can tell you from somebody who's done several events over the years, it's always a mad dash the night before. So when we come in on Friday afternoon, we're going to be there prepared to work. Okay, so anything that you need help with.
I'm sorry, I just saw Theo's comment and started laughing. It is definitely liquor in the front and poker in the back.
Well, speaking of, since you brought up CVMA, I just want to quickly announce, and Jimmy, you brought up Bomber. Do you want to tell everybody who got to see this weekend after CVMA?
Oh, yeah. So after we got done with the CVMA Nationals, we went to see Beth's cousin. And since we was going to be in the area, I put a call out to Anthony Allegra. And he made it out to the house as well. And we got a chance to see each other. And it's the first time we've seen each other since we were blown up together 21 years ago.
Yeah.
So
they haven't seen each other since they were in the hospital.
Yeah. And that was amazing. But he's doing good, though. He really is.
Awesome. Yeah, he looked really good. He looked like he was in some good spirits. And I was glad that, even though he had to drive a little bit to go see my cousin, we tried to get him to come to CVMA, but it was just so last minute. We weren't able to, but we were glad that in the trip we could, swing by. And my cousin is an Army veteran. He also works for the Dublin VA. He's the assistant director at the Dublin VA. So when I texted him, I said, do you mind if somebody comes over to visit Jimmy? He hasn't seen him in 20 years since he was blown up, because I knew my cousin could never say no to that. So I know
you'd say no in the first place, but when you throw out the fact that he's a veteran and we were blown up together and survived, it was a double dip, sure, and that he wasn't going to say no.
Yeah, but that was nice to be able to get Anthony and my cousin together, since Anthony just switched to the Dublin VA. So, to kind of help him.
Looking at the time, I'm going to take a quick break here to pay the bills. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties this evening, hence, unfortunately, not being able to share any of the pictures that we had planned on sharing. But Duff, while I'm doing the commercials, if you could put in the link in the chat or in the comments, so that if people wanted to check out the FSB Initiative or FSB Initiative Ohio Team website and or links as far as it goes, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, so paying the bills. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. Tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by Artias. For all your business needs, if you want to start your own business, improve your business, sell your services to the government, or even start your own organization, reach out to Artias at YESRTS.com. These guys are great. They break everything down Barty style, keep it simple, stupid. If my ground eating ass can follow along when it comes to trying to build an organization, I'm sure you can too. They walked us through everything step by step, from applying for our 501c, building our website, setting up the shop, showing us how to put products on a website and everything as far as that goes. Once again, that's YESRTS.com. For all service disabled veterans looking to do this, the same thing, you can reach out to Artias, but do it through their organization, VETS365. That's VETS365.org. They offer all the same services that Artias offers, but for service disabled veterans, it is completely free of charge. And then for those of you who like our particular brand of humor, you can join us over on Crown Angels Life 1775 on Facebook. We believe in healing through laughter. So all your military humor, your dark, your inappropriate, your explicit humor, you're going to find on our page. We make it our goal to make you spit your coffee out every morning. If we can make you spit your coffee out and put a smile on your face, hopefully we can keep you from going to those dark places and becoming part of the 22. If you want to check out some of the gear that we've got, you can go over to our website, cew1775.org, click on shop. We've got ball caps, trucker hats, t-shirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies. We even got a pretty kick-ass, cool-looking flask on there, and some other items and gear coming soon. Once again, that's cew1775.org. All right, bills have been paid. So, looking over at the comments, going back when we was talking about those who may have worked their way into a med board in one way, shape, or form. Lance McElhaney had made a comment saying that basically they did it just for the disability. But in our talks, as far as not all wounds are visible or whatever, as far as that goes, he was saying that he understands because his illness is not visible at all. And that is true. A lot of us, there are a lot of veterans, both combat veterans and just straight up veterans who didn't see combat in one way, shape, or form can still have PTSD. And that's not a visible wound, but it doesn't mean that it's not there.
Or just like our friend at Walter Reed who had severe shoulder damage. And, you guys would be walking in the mall. And I think this was before he even started growing his hair out or, doing stuff like that. I think he still had his hair
he was still within regs because he was still
within regs. And they would say, thank you for your service to you and not say a word to him. I mean, I think people, do one thing and assume, or don't see something and assume that person hasn't served.
Oh, God, I see the cat now. I was about to ask Stephen what the hell his problem was.
So I just got some strange pussy walking around on the back, but,
I've been watching him lay up in the bed or on the chair and just act like.
I was like, what are you talking about here? Oops.
Looking at more of the comments, that's where Theo had said it when we was talking about the bars and whatnot. Theo said his favorite bar slogan is poker in the front, liquor in the rear.
Yeah.
That's McElhaney in response said, Tor, favorite bar or favorite hobby? Joe Boo LS said, sup, my peeps. Hi, Joe. Thanks for watching. Stephen Michael Bearden, hello and good evening, everybody. Duff gave us a highlight. And, we got the FSB Initiative Ohio Team with the links in there.
Yeah, I follow orders. I follow orders, Gunny. You told me to put the links in there, so I did.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Stephen Michael Bearden said, do you need IT support?
Because we weren't able to share stuff. He typed it up when we couldn't share stuff at the time.
Okay, that's
no,
right.
It's just Tijuana Wi-Fi. That's all it is. Tijuana Wi-Fi. We're international. Y'all didn't know.
Yeah, Steve Michael Bearden also said that's a pretty pussy. Really said, I think he's talking about the cat, but
yes, I did not do another crotch shot this time.
I have a tendency to look around. I might not have been looking at the screen.
That's what I was looking for. I was like, did I miss something?
Let's do another crotch. Yeah, we were adjusting cameras and
Lance said
I'm wearing pants.
Lance said I also have PPMS. Yeah, that would be the one that's not visible as well. Steven said, laugh out loud, me too. Joe Hind tight, looking sexy, Crown Eater. Thank you. I do it myself. If it gets long enough for me to pull it on the sides, I get annoyed. I can't grow a beard to save my life, so I will unfortunately never have something like that big beautiful thing that Duff's got going on. It comes in all scraggly and just.
I just woke up one day with it.
Stephen Michael Bearden said, would you like another veteran to join your show with you three? With the technical difficulties that we're having tonight, I don't know that that's going to work out for us, Stephen, but we are looking at doing a show here for long where we're going to end up inviting audience members to join us on the show and
Probably Sunday.
talk some shit.
Yeah, which are usually our Sunday shows.
That, you know what? We can definitely do that the next time Beth needs a mental health day.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we like to talk shit on the show, and there's no problems bringing in other audience members to join us.
Okay. Was there any more before I get to the bad advice? Did you have a couple more vendors you wanted to talk about, and or
I didn't have a couple more things because I have so much stuff. It's hard to show it all.
Okay.
But for those who want to come to the ride, if you are in a close enough vicinity that you could come up and join in the ride that will be happening every year for the rest of my life and beyond, and be part of the first time it happens, you can get on Facebook or you can get on the website and see how to contact me to pre-order a ticket. For the next 7 days, all pre-order rider tickets will receive a free event shirt that will be available at the event for $20. So for $25, for a $25 rider ticket, there's going to be breakfast, lunch, dinner, prizes, cash bar, DJ, and a ton of fun. But we also have event shirts made up. And now, mind you, we called Omar the tent maker to make mine. But the event shirt commemorates the event with the logo. And for those who can't come, instead of pre-ordering a ticket, I've decided that if you just want to support my cause and join my mission, you can get a hold of me in the same ways on TikTok. The phone number is on Facebook. It's on the website. You can text me and you can cash app $25 just like a rider ticket, and I will mail you the $20 shirt through USPS.
Awesome.
So it's a lot to put into a comment there, but that if you scroll down in the comments, the FSB Initiative O Team, of course, you guys know I had to do that. I got the O Team.
Yeah.
But that Cash App, you can, if you feel so inclined, you can just donate as well. And as being 100% volunteer, 100% donation driven, you can check our records with the IRS. You can check our records with the Better Business Bureau and the Attorney General's agents in Delaware, Ohio, Pennsylvania, where our teams are active. We have, since we've incorporated in 2019, never had more than a 10% overhead. So 90 cents out of every dollar donated goes directly to the mission.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. All right. So we're going to do our first bad advice question. It says, I don't know how to play poker, but I want to go to your event. What do you recommend?
You know what? Just show me your cards and I will tell you how to bet.
I'm trying to figure out if he knows what a poker run is.
So, Theo, a poker run is you all get on motorcycles and you leave in groups. You have a starting point, which is normally your end point, and then you have 5 stops along the way, and you get a poker hand. You get a card to draw a card at each hand. Whoever has the best hand at the end of the run wins the pot, which is normally about 50% of the admission fees.
Thank you, Steve, for throwing that all-in-one message as far as that goes. You got
you've never
as far as the bad advice, you don't know how to play poker. It's fairly simple as far as it goes. You're going to get X amount of cards, 5 cards or 7, depending on which game you're playing as far as that goes. Just remember, no matter what, always double the bet. And if somebody re-raises, you re-raise them with double the bet. So just no matter what.
I think if you've never played poker before, play strip poker. It will learn you real real quick.
Lance McIlhenny said, just come to my house and we will practice by playing. Yeah, he said the
Sure,
same thing.
Lance and I are always on the same page.
Steven said, you're welcome. The only way to play poker is to decide where to poker.
Well, it's 2025. You can't roll out. You might be poking him too.
Okay, Jimmy, you do bad advice.
Pretend you're in Thailand and do a package check before you move forward with anything.
All right, Jimmy, your turn for bad advice.
Okay, bad advice number 2. My teacher from the 5th grade saw me in an adult store. I saw her buying a 10-inch butt busting dildo. There we go. She said hi to me before she purchased. What should I do?
I mean,
I can save you $20.
I'd ask her if she needed help.
Yeah, I was about to say, tell her you can save her. I don't know how much those things cost. I've never had one. Save like $10 or $20.
A little more than that.
Okay, I've never paid for them.
Ask her if she's buying props for the sex ed class and if she would just rather have a live model instead.
We can go with that.
I mean, nothing. No.
Who doesn't want to expose themselves to fifth graders?
Right.
Man.
Would you like a show and tell?
Does she need help with practical application?
See, Stephen, I don't think I could flirt with her because when I'm just being nice to someone, especially women these days, when I'm just being a genuinely good dude and trying to be nice to them, they think I'm flirting with them. When I'm flirting with them, they think I'm weird, awkward, and they normally run away.
That's me. That's totally me.
I don't know if I do flirt with people. I definitely try not to. As far as that,
I don't want to hear that. You flirt with me all the time
because she says that people will be flirting with me, and I'm completely fucking clueless.
You flirt with me all of the time. I don't want to hear it.
Oblivious.
Well, yes, this is true. I do. We do have our bromance going and our man crush, and yes, I flirt with you all the time. But as far as being out in the civilian world, Beth laughs at me all the time because we'll be at events and people come up and ask about whichever organization we might be helping out with at that time, and I'll just start going into the spiel and talking to them, and I'll get done talking, and Beth come up and she'll be laughing. I'll be like, "What?" She's like, "You had no clue. She was drooling all over you and flirting with you," and I was like, "What?"
That deep one. We were all laughing at you. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't just Beth. Everybody was laughing. I had absolutely no clue I was being flirted with. I was just.
He shut his thruple detector off when he met me.
Let's see. Theo said, "Tell your teacher she should get a bigger dildo to fill the empty hole she has left in your soul." Oh, Theo's getting poetic on us.
Hi, Christy.
Let's see. Steven said, "That's all good because we know we flirt with those ladies just right."
Hi, Christy. Thank you for watching. All right. Let's see. Bad advice 3. I'm taking my first cruise down to the Bahamas. My girlfriend's dad is going with us. I want to ask his blessing for marrying his daughter. What is the best way to do this?
Well,
go ahead, Duff.
Well, I would highly suggest taking him to the I was never in the Navy or chauffeured by them. What's it called? The stern or the bow, the front of the ship?
The stern.
So take him to the stern, give him the Titanic, make him smile, then gently lean him over and tell him, I'm going to marry your daughter or you're getting dropped.
I'm going to say start the conversation out something along the lines of, when I'm hitting it from behind and I use my finger, it's real tight. Do you think this is the right size ring? So, when I'm sticking my finger up her ass, it's real tight. I tried to judge that. Is this the right size ring?
That's so horrible. I can't believe you thought of that. I don't know if I should be embarrassed or proud.
Yes.
Well, we now know what you like.
Oh, goodness.
It's
Um,
bad advice.
right.
I brought my own bad advice for this show today.
Oh, you did. Let's hear yours.
You just finished being intimate with your significant other. And as the man, you suggest that it might be time to try butt stuff. And she asks you, okay, where do you want it first? What do you say?
No. I can't think of a bad advice for this one because all I want to say is no.
Oh, wait, hold on. We've got one for the other one while we think. An answer to the father asking for the blessing. It says, wait till you get to international waters. Slip your future father-in-law, Mickey. Make passionate love to him to show him that his baby girl will be getting it on the regular. Is Diddy's daughter getting married?
Lance said, throw him overboard while at sea so he cannot refuse your advances on his baby.
You know what? I like where Steven's mind's at. Because, it's not even bad advice. I just told her to use 2 fingers and give me a second opinion.
Chrissy Cossie and crickets.
I know, we're all like sitting here going, I don't know what to do with this one.
It's bad advice.
Steven said, I probably have to hit her back with something she might not do, and that would be a room job.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
I can see him sitting there. So, how do you feel about tossed salads?
Right? You're a regular salad eater. Let's
Just a reminder to everybody, our Facebook page is Crown Eater's Wife, not Salad Eater's Wife. Gerald Padgett came in. Hey, Bones, how you doing?
Hey, Bones. Theo said, ask her if she wants to talk about Jesus. What is it? Latter-day Saints.
Something like that.
The Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, it's the Mormons, the Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
But, say, I'd like to talk to you about Jesus. Have you ever heard of the Latter-day
You have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Well, I was actually going towards the Mormon where they actually like, the whole like Joe Smith, or is it Joe Smith or John Smith?
Joseph.
Joseph Smith. I was out. That's why I went that direction. I was leaving God out of it.
That leads into the next bad advice question. I keep having Mormons come and knock on my door, asking if I want to hear about the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and then they ask, that part of their mission is to do service. How do I get them to stop coming around?
Well,
Talk about butt stuff.
Ask for a rim job.
I was going to say that I can't even give bad advice. The best advice I can give on that is answer the door naked in a gimp mask with a cat of nine tails in your hand.
You know Jimmy used to be a Mormon.
I did not.
Yeah.
But that's how I got them to stop coming to my house.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, we were searching for a church. The missionaries kept coming by. I kept having to do stuff, so I felt guilty and started going to the church because we were looking for a church anyway, and it was a bit more, for lack of a better term, fancy than what I was looking for. But I did like some of the stuff they was talking about. So I agreed to get baptized. Well, we all agreed to get baptized. I get baptized. And then Beth's like, well, wait a minute. I got a few questions. Then he stops and doesn't do it. So, yeah, we left.
I'm like, now that Jimmy's done
But she likes to put it out there that that I got baptized into the Mormon religion. But she was going to, and then was all of a sudden like, wait, hold on. Well, I don't know.
She didn't like the idea of a sister wife. She wanted brother husbands.
Yeah, but we did go to a church. It's actually in Ohio. It's the First Heavy Metal Church of Christ, which was amazing. It's like going to a rock concert every Sunday.
Lance said, ask him if they were aware of the fact that he was already there and invite them to the basement. Steven said, put a pentagram on your door and put a 3D wood stand out in your front yard with a welcome mat theme accordingly. All right. Yeah.
We need a hypothetical hijinks. Oh, wait. Actually, no, we don't. It's too late.
We've been talking for a good bit, so.
All right, real quick before we jump off, tell us again your event, what date, time.
Okay, guys, FSB Initiative Ohio Team is having our first inaugural annual charity ride on July 20th. It's starting in Windham, Ohio. We are riding to Bainbridge, Ohio. It'll be a nice hour scenic ride and then an hour scenic ride back on a different route. There's going to be games and raffles and 50-50 drawings and music. And if you leave hungry, that was by choice because there's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Thanks, Stephen.
You can support by ordering an event shirt and help support it if you can't show up. All of the contact information is at fsbinc.org/Ohio. It'll be the second thing you see after the shout out to the company that made my shirts for me. And other than that, if you can show up, please do, because we're going to show out.
And the crayon eaters will be there.
The crayon eaters will be there, and maybe Jimmy will have a little extra limp in his gimp.
Yeah, alrighty. So, yeah, we'll be there. Anybody who would like to meet us in person would be great. We'd love to see anybody there to not only meet us, but primarily to show support to
this amazing org.
No, absolutely. Meet you guys and support the crayon eaters as well.
For
one team, one fight.
For event info, you can check them out on the website. Beth and I will also be sharing it on our personal pages. Duff will have it on his. We'll have it on Crown Eater's Wife, and we'll post the flyer as well on the Smokin Jokin Facebook page as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show tonight. Love you all. Join us again on Sunday. We'll have some more fun, laughter, and shenanigans for everybody as far as that goes. Duff, once again, thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
As
Seth.
always,
Thank you for having me.
open door policy as far as that goes. Anytime you want to come on the show, let us know. To all our audience, we love you.